Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Cuddy Neckbone Zone. It's a YouTube channel that I started, and I want to get this out into the public. And I have a guest today. His name is Mr. Charlie Shaw. Welcome to the show today.
What's going on, man? Thanks for inviting me out. My podcast also is Pure Read, and we're starting up our YouTube channel as well.
Isn't that amazing? Look at us old coots doing stuff.
Who you calling old coot?
I know. Don't get all violent, man. I know you're in shape now.
Oh,
which is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about CrossFit for those who haven't been tuning in or paying attention, because we kind of throw it out there every once in a while, but we really don't give it its due.
Right.
We go to a CrossFit gym, and to be honest, it's been amazing.
Yes, it has. It's been a journey, man. Coming out of retirement last year, you had a year on top of almost a year over me. And coming out of retirement, it's been God sent, to be honest with you. I'm glad that I got into it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because from what I've talked to people at the gym, everybody has a different avenue that got them there.
Right.
Which is kind of why CrossFit is kind of more than what people think it is. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know.
Right. Well, to me, when I saw CrossFit, I always thought that it was just throwing crazy weight, doing crazy, moves. But going to our gym, we learned the fundamentals. We learned how to scale, which is a very popular word for newbies, that is. And I take full advantage of it because, I'm older. I can't move like someone half my age, so I don't want to get hurt. So I do what I can, but I do it at almost the maximum that I can do it.
The crazy part is that people that are literally half your age can't do some of the stuff that you do now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the truth.
But coming from the profession that we were in, we had to do a lot of these agilities and keep ourselves in shape for to do our job.
And you do, and unfortunately, just like going to the regular gym, stress, life, and everything, it goes by the wayside where you can be a little bit healthier, but you do your veteran things to kind of get by.
Right.
Where
We know how to survive.
Yeah, you know how to survive. Maybe you learn how to talk a little better, so you don't have to fight that much.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of self-preserving mechanisms that you develop as your health maybe declines and you're not 25 anymore, you're 45.
Right.
But yeah, just CrossFit itself has people really, they just look at the physical aspects of it, and they don't realize that how much mentally that it helps you develop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you go in there with all the oh man, I tell you what, this is my thing. I'm like, oh man, I'm so afraid of getting hurt because that's been ingrained in my head.
Right.
What about you?
Well, I've had back injuries, I've had knee injuries, shoulder injuries, and I'm very conscious of what I'm doing when I'm in there. The one reason, did we even say what the name of our gym was?
Nope, we're gonna do it right now.
Okay, go for it.
CrossFit Arbondale, we're gonna plug the gym, we're gonna plug the coaches, have David, Devin, and Cam, who is the owner, by the way.
Right.
And a shout out to Gabby, who's been filling in here and there.
Oh yeah. She ran the class twice this week.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. And she's coming into her own, so good for her.
Right.
And we totally appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, coming in afraid of getting hurt. They talk to you, they find out, what your individual goals are.
Our baseline.
Yeah, because like I said, I didn't know. I didn't even, what you said about CrossFit, I really didn't know. I'm like, I just wanted maybe a group activity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I looked at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes and
Right.
whatever. I just needed to go into the gym when I wanted to. It wasn't working because
Right.
I had tried it.
My thing was that I was going to buy a whole bunch of equipment and put it in the house, and
Oh no.
but I wasn't even getting out going for a walk. So why would I buy all that stuff when I know that I'm not going to use it? Like I would if I went actually into a gym with a trainer. And that's the amazing thing about CrossFit is that we have a trainer. They provide us good information, nutrition information, fitness information, and the price is very reasonable. And you'll have to get in contact with the gym to talk to them about pricing. But I find success in having access to CrossFit Auburndale at this point in my life.
Yeah, I told a friend of mine just the other day, I said, when they're, for the price of a CrossFit class, for even like the weekly fee is comparable to one visit for 1 hour to your shrink. So think about it, because you get more than that, and
Right.
I guess that's the good thing about it. It accommodates you, unless you're driving 2 hours to and from work. Classes start at 5:30
Right.
in the morning,
Yep.
and then go until 6:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
You can find time if you're only maybe like driving like a half hour to work, and you're working like a 9 to 5,
Right.
because we've said it before, because we see people do it every day.
Every day, man. I mean, and now we're in a routine where I get disappointed if I can't make it for whatever reason.
Isn't that horrible? I was telling somebody today, it's like, hey, man, I went like 4 Saturdays in a row, and I never thought I would ever go on a
Right.
Saturday.
Right.
Not one Saturday, much less 4 in a row after going all week, because it
Uh-huh.
seems like it's kind of ingrained in you, and you feel, damn, I need to get up. And one of our gym rat females at the gym she told me I'd feel that way eventually. I'm like, oh, nah.
And she's there
Every day.
Every Saturday.
She would,
As a matter of fact, I think she has the most hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
she would go on Sundays if she could
If they were
convince them to open.
If they were open.
That might be a thing, and you know who we're talking about when you see this. But yeah, no, just that alone is just the accessibility, and we talked about it. I mean, people who come in that have kids,
Yeah,
They-
put them off to the side.
they come in with off the night shift, they rush out as soon as class is over because they got to go to work.
Yeah, the other day one was doing that. Let's get it on. I gotta go to work. I was like, work. Oh yeah, people still work.
Yeah, you can't say that out loud because you'll get your ass kicked. I gotta go home and like take some ibuprofen and go sit down for a little while.
You, man, I go immediately. I walk in, take my shirt off, and just jump. Well, shirt, shoes, and socks, and jump right into the pool.
We sat there. I said earlier about the getting hurt thing,
Uh-huh.
and it's just that working out has. If you don't, you gotta pick your head up out of that rabbit hole to see what working out is now, because back in the 80s and 90s, and we're gonna date ourselves. We're in our 50s, mid 50s.
Right.
And working out was, for me, I don't know about you, it was like getting your Beach Boy muscles.
Right.
We're doing curls, we're doing this and
Care
that.
anything about that anymore?
Yeah, because we weren't, you were always moving around. It wasn't like you were trying to lose weight
Right.
or anything like that. But even back then, like, you were fit because you were younger.
Right. Your metabolism.
Yeah, you were running around, and you're going to be naturally strong. If you lift weights, you're going to get stronger.
When do you feel like your metabolism slowed down on you?
Oh, shoot. I was in my late 30s.
Late 30s?
Yeah, maybe like 38. I think the first time I pulled both my hamstrings racing one of my little nephews or something.
I think mine happened around 40, 42,
Right.
where I used to be, in my 30s, I used to just be able to, work out, run a little bit, and still be able to maintain that same waistline and not have to worry about anything. Clothes fit right, that's what it was. That's what was important to me. And then it was like one day I woke up, like, man, the dry cleaners mess my clothes up because they don't fit right anymore. I was always blaming it on somebody else. Sort of like my hairline. When my hairline started leaving me, I was blaming it on the barber. It was my body's changing, and I had to get right with that.
You remind me, that's what my cousin says. He blames our barber we had back in the 70s for his hairline receding. I'm like, come on, man.
Barbers take it out of here.
How are we talking? Mess my hair up? No, he didn't, man. That was like 1978. You were 10 years old. You were receding then.
All right. Local dry cleaner, he took a hit from me also. I was like, man, you messed my suits up. They don't close no more.
They don't close. I can't button my button. But you equate equate that too also with the first metabolism and your thought process. I mean, and getting like hurt,
Right.
like like even like your recovery. I kind of equate that to metabolism
Right. Yes.
because I
Very
remember
much so.
first time. Remember like first time you really got hurt at work.
Yes, I do. It's still with me to this day. Yes.
Was it like a shock?
It was a shock. I actually got hurt on the job, and I tore my knee up. I was out for almost 8 months, man. And I didn't know my knee. It was after an arrest. I didn't know it was torn up. I didn't know anything was wrong with me until I sat down in my cruiser, and I tried to straighten my leg out. And I was like, man, did I cut myself? Or I jumped out the car. I was like kind of panicked because my adrenaline was coming down now.
Right.
And I had the guys flashing the light on me. It was like, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not bleeding or anything. So we was out to the side. I was pulling up my pants leg and it was tight. So I pulled up both of them and he was like, oh man, your knee is jacked up.
See, that's bad.
And that was the last time I worked for the rest of that year because it happened in like March, April. Well, yeah, I think it was something like that. It was a little cooler in Florida, so that's how I can equate with what time of the year it was.
And it's bad when you actually have to be out because that wasn't a thing back then. You got hurt, you just you didn't even tell anybody.
No, you didn't. You didn't
Like,
because you know where they send you. Well, at Orange County, you know where they send you.
Yeah.
Over to the comm center.
Yeah. Any agency anywhere in the country, you're gonna send you away, and you're like, oh man, I can suck this up, and that's kind of where it was. Because I mean, I got like hit. I think like you think you're super strong. You're thinking all the stuff that you buy into what you were doing in your 20s and 30s, and I was it was like a warrant deal,
Right.
and I grabbed this guy behind, put him in the neck hole, got my legs around him, and he like ran with me like I had a freaking he had a football. I mean, the only reason that he stopped, he could have ran 100 yards with me, no problem. This guy was like, I want to say he was a super jack more than I wasn't,
You just went along for the piggyback ride.
Yep, and I got my buddy hit him from the front, and they both fell on me, and like my belt.
Right.
And hey folks, back then I had a pager. This is like how long this was. I mean, I found my belt seemed like it exploded. Like it was like all over the place. People were like stealing my shit. We get the guy, get him in the car, like you said, all adrenaline stuff going.
Right.
And even going home, I was kind of like, whatever. But getting up that next morning, it felt like I got hit with like a freaking sledgehammer. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? It's like I've never really been injured or felt like I had my spine rattled, and I'm like, that was a little different. And I kind of started reassessing things and realizing that this story kind of equates to even the exercises we were doing this morning for the spine work. I don't know if you guys did it too.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like it teaches you how to navigate your day.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's freaking awesome. Shout out to David Cross, he'll love it.
Yeah. We're gonna plug each one of them, and since we brought up Dave, the one thing that all the instructors are different. They all have their own styles, but the one thing that I appreciate, and Dave, close your ears, he really stretches us out before we get into our routines.
Yeah,
Now all of them stretch. All the instructors stretch us out, but you feel like you just got done with a workout when you get stretched out by Dave.
Yeah.
So I think that he see the value in that. And Devin is real particular on form and all that. And I appreciate each one of them. Gabby follows after her brother, with that as well. And Cameron, he's a big time motivator. While you're doing your reps and your sets. So they all have their specialties about them, and it's appreciated.
Yeah, and they realize everybody's individuality.
Right.
I mean,
they know their clients. They know their clients.
Yeah, and that's, there have been people that have gone to other places and like they don't get that kind of care. It's like just go over there and do that. Maybe not show you how to do it like totally correct, but it's like a daily correction thing because you don't go in there perfect.
No,
It's like, hey,
no.
you're slacking, you're doing this, you're doing that.
I've been caught by each of them where I'm not using proper form. And the reason why it was easy for them to catch me is because they taught it to me. They saw that I did it right, a few times. What's going on today? Well, for example, Dave today had a guy take some weight off. Hey, look, you're not lifting that correctly, man. Take some weight off.
Yeah, you need to hear that because that's somebody that needs to get their mind right.
And talking about people, other gyms, I can contest this. I went to another gym. I'm not going to say which one, but I didn't feel the professionalism like I get at the Auburndale gym, where they take the time out to teach you. They take the time out to actually show you how to do it, and then let you perform and correct you while you're performing.
Yeah, and there's
To make sure that you don't get hurt.
the transformation that even that you've gone through. You're what, like 70 months into this?
7 months? I started what, in November?
Like,
No, yeah, November. So what is
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
yeah, so that's crazy because your before and after pictures now was just, and you changed since the last after picture.
A little bit.
And that's the weird part because people they go, well, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna lose weight, and it's like it's not even about that. It's
I don't even think like that anymore.
I think once people get there, they don't think that way anymore.
I thought about that earlier in the year. Oh man, well weight isn't dropping. But when they did a body assessment, it's like, okay, weight dropped a little bit, but I gained muscle here.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is one of those things that people don't. There are people that have looked like they lost 15 pounds and they might have lost 6.
Right. And good example, this shirt I got on, I almost didn't put it on because it's too big. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I don't mind buying a few clothes if I'm gaining wins.
Yeah, somebody's gonna think you're turning back the time clock there.
No, I'm not trying to do that.
But you are.
I'm just trying to put a little bit more time on the clock. You know how they said, how people tell you when you retire, as much time as you put in to work on the job, you want just as much time on the back end.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's a very good way to put it because you give a lot, you give up a lot, and you don't put yourself first.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
very seldom are you in a position to put yourself first, especially if you're like a supervisor in any fashion,
Yeah, I get you.
And that's all the transformations that you see at the gym. They're amazing. Like I've only been there like a year and a half, but to see people who've come in, they all look 10 years younger.
Oh yeah, man.
It's like, are you kidding me?
I'm amazed that I've watched a few people, go through their transformation right before my eyes, and you can tell that they're winning. They're hitting their goals, hitting their gains.
Yeah, and that's like a byproduct. Like the benefits are, I mean, I know, like, because I see too, your mobility is way better than it was. Your strength is way better. You're motivated.
Speaking of which, going back to what you were talking about before, people leaving gyms and coming over to our gym. We have a person, I don't know her name, and I wouldn't say it on there anyway, but she came over because they weren't giving her the service that she was expecting from working out at the gym. So she came over because she talked to a few people at our gym. So that's a good testament to our gym, is that, hey, we're over here doing big things.
Yeah, and for all ages, and the pitfalls of somebody who's ready to come into CrossFit or wants to pop their head in, I would say the hardest part is if you're older, don't be afraid to get hurt.
I want to see more people our age.
Well, and that's the I think kind of going over these points right here, because this is the hard part about being older. I'm not going to speak. I'm talking about the 50 and older crowd. Listening, like coming in and forgetting everything you ever knew from your 80s, 90s, and 2000s. You have to listen to the coaches.
I improved my running based off of what the suggestion that Devin gave me.
Yeah. Devin taught me had no idea how to run.
Right.
Thanks, Devin.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, where I was exerting too much energy.
Right. Staying low to the ground.
Stay low to the ground, get your feet moving with your arms. Whereas, we was just all out
It's a
breathing,
technique.
breathing. By the time we got, that driveway right after you make the turn,
Mhm.
after like the first run, I'm okay. The second and third run, the second and third 200 meter, you can hear yourself breathing. And now you gotta start getting control of your breathing, and never really paid attention to that.
Yeah, and
Usually you
get
just
after
stop.
it. Yeah, right. He's like, that's enough.
No, now I know how to work through it, control your breathing.
And you can go
Slow
farther.
down. It's okay to slow down.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to. Being first is that's another thing on the list is stop watching everybody else.
Stop watching everyone
Just
else.
do your thing, and you're faster than you used to be.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you probably were never as fast as a person that you're looking at, even when you were younger, because that wasn't maybe a priority or maybe not. But
Right. Right.
And I think the last thing, no, I just think that the not getting hurt part, being afraid. I was like afraid to jump on a box.
I definitely was afraid to jump on the box.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I can't remember last time I jumped up on anything.
Step ups. I was proud just to step up on a 20 or 24, meaning the box size, the height
Yeah.
size. I was proud just to step, but I was like, I'm not jumping up on that box. I don't care if y'all laughing on the inside anyway. I'm not jumping up there. But now man, if I don't jump up there, they're gonna be like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, because everybody knows you can do it now.
Yeah, right.
you're just having a lazy day.
Yeah, but even and you can contest to this, right? There's days where I come in there and I'm sore,
Right.
but now I'm starting to identify: are you sore or are you injured?
Right. Yeah.
And knock on wood, thank God, I haven't received any injuries in there. Now I tweaked a few things.
Uh-huh.
I nursed them, but it wasn't enough to keep me from not coming, because they can always find something for you to do.
Always, and no matter what has happened or how you feel when you go in there, you always feel better when you leave.
Yeah, always.
I've not ever felt worse when I left. And they should have a huge sign up there on the entryway. I know they think they used to, but literally the hardest part about CrossFit is walking in the door.
Walking in the door.
It's not anything you do after you walk in the door. It's literally getting up and walking in the door.
I feel like I conquered the day just getting up out of bed, getting over there, and getting it knocked out. Because you've done more than maybe 2/3 of the.
Oh yeah. Well, just like today, when your class was over, did you leave right away?
No, you guys didn't leave right away neither. What did you do? Go for another mile walk?
Yeah.
It was about what, for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just to walk it off, and you feel better even after that.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, that's something I would like to do, and that's going to be a goal probably next month. I'm